keys I talked about in the last video. If I lunge, I cannot cut the lunge short, meaning I come here, I let my knee come forward, I let my heel come up, I put a whole bunch of pressure on my patella, no go. If you did not see that video, go back and watch. I'm not gonna waste time right now going through all of the problems with lunges. I just assume you know how to do them right. So I get nice and tall, I breathe into my abdomen, I brace my core. I'm going to use my arm swing just like when I walk. Guys, when you walk like this. There's a natural gait that when you walk, your right arm goes forward when your left leg goes forward. That's how we need to lunge. And if you watch a track star run, when they're running, they have 90 degrees in their arms. That's how we're going to lunge. We're going to lunge with intention. So when we lunge, we drive, and then we can stand. What I like to do is make the lunge motion followed by a knee drive, and then I can step back and come up. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. What's harder is to pause 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. You get it? So I can make those progressions as hard as I want. What can I do? I can put a weighted vest on. I could hold a couple of light dumbbells. I could actually put a band. I mean, I'm in a gym, so I don't know what you guys have at home, but we have all kinds of bands and stuff that you can put around your waist so that when you step out, it's harder resistance to step forward. There's lots of progressions. You could put light ankle weights on your ankles so that when you step forward, so when I drive my knee up, bam, that ankle weight is pulling me back down. But the key, guys, is trying to get that arm swing correct. So I pop, 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 pop. You get the idea. Now you can move on and we can do some side lunges, side to side. I showed this in the previous video. What I'll do is show a couple of variations here, how to make it harder. So to remind you, I'll show you from the back this time. So I'm gonna lunge to the right. I'm gonna feel a stretch right here in my adductors. I'm gonna lift my left foot. So notice my spine is straight, meaning I'm not leaning this way, I'm not leaning this way, I'm not rounding my back. I step, I lift my left foot to stand. I'm not doing this. I'm not pushing off my left foot. I'm going to step to the right. I push my butt back. All my weight's in my right leg. I lift my left foot to stand. I go back the other way. I feel the stretch here. Toes are straight. I'm not pointing my toes way out to the side. I keep my toes straight. Big toe is down in my left foot. Left knee is out. My butt's way back. Spine is long. I lift my right leg to stand. Guys, keeping your big toes down when you lunge in any lunge is a big deal. We talked about in the last video, if you lunge and your knee is coming collapsing in, or if you're flexing forward, none of that stuff is good. How do I make it harder? Well, I can add some upper back rotation so that when I lunge, I can act like I'm hugging a barrel and I rotate, and I look at my elbow and I come back. So I'm actually looking at the elbow. So when I lunge, I get all my weight over. I feel the stretch. I hug a barrel and I rotate, rotate, rotate. I'm looking at my right elbow. I come back to center and I stand. I have to think about keeping my spine nice and long. So again, when I lunge, I'll go to the right. My spine is long, my butt is back. I hug the barrel, I rotate 3, 2, 1, center. I step to the left, get my butt way back. I hug the barrel, rotate 3, 2, 1, center. Now you could hold kettlebells, you could hold a medicine ball, whatever, to make the side lunges even harder. What else can we do? We can take a pillow and just put it behind you. Any type of a pillow. Now this is a little bit harder, but we'll see how you do. So again, I'm going to start up with my right knee up, my left elbow, just like I'm running. I'm gonna come back till I tap that blue pad and I come up off that leg. I can make it harder by just holding a kettlebell. I tap and I come up, or any type of weight, it doesn't matter what it is. I tap my knee, see my back foot's up, and I stand. So I go way back behind me. I tap and I stand. Okay, it's a great exercise. You could alternate legs, whatever you want to do in that regard. Similarly, again, you don't need weight. Just doing it with no weight is fine. It's plenty hard. If it's too hard, you could make it higher, right? You just go a little bit higher, tap, stand, whatever. Guys, just balancing on one leg for some people is hard, and that's great exercise. So in other words, if you just want to hold your leg, get really tall, get the knee above the hip flexion is hard for most people. Most people are super tight in their hips. They don't have good hip extension, and they have very, very weak hip flexion. What does that mean? It means that they can't get their knee over their hip very well. So just standing with your knee as high as you can with good posture is great exercise for everybody. Let me show you one or two more things. So now, if you don't have a weight, we can just do some single leg deadlift work. So it's gonna look like a deadlift. So I'm just gonna take my left hand, I'll put it behind my back. I'll kick way back, nice and long, like so. What I'm trying to do is what's called axial extension. I'm making my spine long that way while my leg gets long the other way. So I could reach, really reach. See, my right hand is reaching that way while my right leg is going the other way. 3. So my spine's getting long, my leg's getting long. I'm reaching, reaching, reaching. You want to use a weight? No problem. I'll show you from this side. So I'll kick way, way back. I'll get real long. I'll pause. And I'll come up and I'll stand nice and tall. Kick, long spine, long spine, long spine. Pause. Come up nice and tall. You get the idea? Guys, lots of ways to train, but it's all about technique and doing it right. Hopefully that gave you guys a few ideas.